there. Thank you for joining in. I'm sorry it looks kind of weird. Well, that's okay though. All right. Well, today I just wanted to talk about three ways that INFPs can make sure that we're doing the best we can emotionally. So it's just like three forms of self-care for INFPs that may or may not work for you, but hopefully they'll work for you. Um, the first one is to give yourself permission to just be. Because most of us know that a lot of INFPs, we tend to need a lot of alone time. As much as we love people, we also lose energy. We just kind of like lose energy the more we interact with people a lot of times. So that means to replenish our energy, we need solitude. Like we need to just go home, spend a couple hours at home maybe, and read a book or watch a movie or do some writing or something. And in our modern day and age, a lot of times people who seek out solitude might be viewed as antisocial, or people might say, "Why do you spend so much time on your own?" They might come to you with like a very critical perspective of your needing to be alone. But it's one form of self care for an INFP to realize that it's good for their emotional well being and mental health to take time out for themselves, possibly every day, some solitude, um, like to just go on a walk or, do those other things that were mentioned earlier and to not feel bad about it or feel guilty. There's nothing wrong with taking time for yourself. Um, a second form of self care would be something that I have not been doing lately, but to enjoy a physical activity. Um, a lot of times, if you look up the description of an INFP, there's usually some sentence that includes the fact that they are not good at physical activities and may often be seen as klutzy or clumsy. I will say this does describe me. I am quite clumsy. I trip or fall down a couple times every day, and I think a lot of my INFP friends also do that. So that's probably true about a lot of us. And because of that, we may shy away from like sports or like team sports and things like that. But it can be really, really refreshing to do something that gets, the blood pumping and creates endorphins so that you feel good. So some things that kind of have helped me because I don't like team sports very much are dancing, like taking dance classes. In the past, I did that and it was just amazing. And then it gets you like fit too. So that's always cool. Also, a friend of mine told me about something I'd never heard of. It's called pickleball, which I want to try. Or just even walking, like going on a little hike or a walk in a nice area. Um, that can also be a great way to just feel better. So that would be the second form of self-care is to engage regularly in some form of fun physical activity that isn't a chore, but just that makes you feel good. A third form of self-care, this one sounds kind of weird, but it can really help a lot. And it's one thing I had to learn the hard way and am continuing to learn. It is to learn to view criticism as an opportunity to evolve. So, uh, yeah, we are also normally not very good at taking criticism, us INFPs. As quiet as we are, we will like sometimes be kind of rude to people who we feel like are attacking us. But sometimes people aren't really attacking us. They're just pointing out a flaw, maybe in our thinking or in our, yeah, like in our perception of things or I don't know, in the way we're choosing to use our money or our time or something like that. And because we often really value being fair, in our head, we're like, well, everyone has the right to their opinion. So this person has the right to their opinion, but they're also an idiot and they're coming at me. But no, most of the time, I would say people um, who approach us with criticism, like face to face, friends and family members, I would venture to say that a lot of times they're doing it from a place of love. And it helps us to remember that. I know it's helping me to remember that. Um, that if I listen to what they say and really consider it, maybe some aspect of what they're saying, I can try to apply it and see if it'll help me to evolve. Will it really make my will it really make my life worse or better if I accept their criticism of me, you know? Because we don't want to stay stuck. And that's something that like can happen to us as INFPs because we are quieter and we do seek out solitude a lot and we depend on ourselves a lot instead of on other people. Because sometimes we're afraid to let other people in. So, how do we grow? If we're just depending on ourselves, how do we grow? We have to at some point let other people in. And one way of doing that is by accepting criticism. It would be like an example of um, the negative effect of not accepting criticism could be like, let's say that I am an author, which I am, but let's say that I have enough money to hire an editor for my books that I want to publish. So I'm like, yeah, I know I'm supposed to hire an editor. I have the money. Let's do it. So I hire an editor, and the editor is better than me at writing, which is what you want in an editor. You want someone who's better than you. But when she gives me feedback and says, I think that you need to change the first sentence in the first chapter of your book, it will make people want to put your book down instead of continue reading. Okay, so that the way that the editor said that to me was very blunt and it hurt my feelings. So I'm hurt. So what should I do? Should I just like, I don't know, dwell on that hurt and be like, oh, she's so critical. I'm ignoring her. I'm never speaking to her. No, because she's probably right. So I would fare better if I listened to the person I hire. If I get past my hurt feelings, accept the fact that I'm hurt and I have the right to be hurt. That's fine. It's okay to be hurt. And she could have been nicer, yeah. And I might even say, the next time you talk to me, can you be a little less blunt? Like, I love your feedback, but I'm going to need you to be less blunt because that's the only way it's really going to help me. So, yeah. So the best thing to do for me is to accept her criticism. And that way, more people are going to read my books. I'll make more money. I'll be a happier writer. So, criticism is good because it will help me to evolve. Now, all that said, there are people out there who are just terrible. And sometimes out of jealousy, out of spite, maybe, or just, I don't know why some people do this, just being mean. They will give inappropriate criticism, perhaps in the form of yelling or screaming at you, or calling you names, or verbally abusing you, or saying things about like putting down your intelligence or things like that. If someone brings that sort of criticism to you, that's not criticism, that's just flat out abuse. And that should not be tolerated. So that's not what I mean. Accepting that would not be a form of self care. But yeah. So that's it pretty much. Just 3 ways that we can make sure we are doing our best and feeling our best. And the first one was, again, to give ourselves permission to seek out solitude and go into turtle mode whenever we need to. It's fine. Secondly, is to try to regularly enjoy a fun physical activity that stirs up the endorphins so that we can like be happier. And then thirdly, learn to view criticism as an opportunity to evolve and grow. That is it for today. If you have any other forms of self-care that have really worked for you, please do let us know. I would like to know because I need some self-care too. And I will read your comments in the comments section about that, should you choose to provide them. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye.